This MLB Preview and NFL Draft Props edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up at Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN to get up to $1,000 in bonus credit. We're also brought to you by Edge Boost. Get up to $750 in cash back rewards each month when you sign up at edgeboost.bet and use the promo code SGPN.
Hey, this is John Smoltz, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. We got sheets.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we have hot dogs. Do we have hot dogs coming in later?
Well, we have
some popcorn.
We do have Spuds McKenzie in studio.
Did you
Someone
see
argue the hottest dog around.
Circa doing a first pitch again for opening day.
Shout out to the Circa doing the opening day pitch, joining us in studio. You know him, you love him, the man in the box from the Bottom Line Bombs, Mr. CJ Sullivan. What's happening, CJ?
What's up, fellas? I like to wait for the cue.
Oh yeah, I get it. You don't want to step on your own little mini theme song there.
Not coming over. I'm the Bombino when it comes to baseball. The Cracker Jack kid, the Bombino, the Say Nay kid, the Bombino.
I like the Bombino.
Yeah, Bombino's good.
There's so many good nicknames. Yeah. So this episode, we're going to be joined by Malcolm here in just a second. Malcolm Bamford from the MLB Gambling Podcast. Talk a little high level, aka let Malcolm talk baseball. And then,
how quickly can we do a full baseball preview?
Well, full is a relative term, Ryan. Of course, I'm sure everyone who wants baseball action already is subscribed to the MLB Gambling Podcast, getting the division previews that Mal, Scott, and Dylan have been knocking out over there. Lante as well. Yes. Good crew over on the MLB Gambling Podcast. So yeah, a lot to get to. And then we'll talk a little NFL draft props. We're going to talk about some of the teams that are in the news. We got a little buzz about maybe the Browns trading for Dak Prescott. Obviously the Giants signing a couple quarterbacks that could shake things up. The Saints are in the mix, possibly trading up. So some fun draft props. And what was great about CJ, we kind of sprung it on him. The original plan was, hey, we're just going to talk NFL draft props. Then we remembered baseball is happening. So we're like, oh, we should crowbar in a baseball segment with Malcolm. CJ's like, no problem. And he just had it on his person, Ryan, the MLB printout sheet from Circa.
CJ and I are cut from a similar cloth in that way. If you notice, like in a part that you can't really see behind us, we have a bookshelf where every Friday I'm out there during football season. I was just grabbing the futures packet every Friday. And then look at this. I have a history of data points. I can go back and research. I can do nothing with them and they can look fabulous in a pile behind us, make us look smart. And most importantly, you have something in your hands when you're doing a show
100%
to make people understand that you're doing a show.
And before you make a point, right, you have to tap it on you tap it on the desk. You make sure you get your points right. I have a filing sheets. I have sheets that have like coffee stains for you more banging around,
I think filing cabinet content.
Yes.
We need some filing cabinet.
That's a good graphic, filing cabinet. Check the filing cabinet.
Shout out to Steven Glansberg, tossing us a little tip over there, of course, on the youtube.com/sports gambling podcast, saying there was a rather large presence at
I love his spelling of
Louisville for Tyler Shuck Pro Day. They might have their next great white quarterback after all, Ryan.
What did we talk about earlier?
About the Giants still drafting a quarterback, but maybe in the second or third round.
I have 4 second-round quarterbacks this year. Shedeur Sanders, Jackson Dart, Tyler Shuck, and Jalen Milroe. All second-round quarterback grades.
I've been nervous about this for a while now. Ever since you said that's how you're going to determine if someone knows ball or not, if they know how to pronounce the name.
I was
Shuck.
very nervous for Sean right there because I know most of the time he's not listening to me, so
Right.
I wanted to make sure.
I'm locked in. Oh, you sound like my wife. Oh, you're always tuning me out. Well, Ryan, I will be reading and or writing an email, and Ryan will start a conversation with me, and I'm locked in.
But this is something I brought up in the office. I wanted to make sure that we had some preparedness around Shuck. I've now heard 2 massive distribution networks talk about some guy named Tyler Show from Louisville. Never heard of any of those things.
Disgusting.
I always take a little creative license with the pronunciation of names anyway. So I think
that's your shtick.
But I think this one I would have stumbled upon by accident, saying it wrong in my head, but it's actually the correct way. So also, Shuck it'll always be for me.
Being it's a kid who went to Louisville, Sean. Perhaps it's Tyler Tyler
Yeah. We'll have to get the exact pronunciation.
It's like a gut sound, you know.
Tyler in the chat saying the UFL show was great. Classic Colby. Yeah, we will be doing UFL show later tonight on the network.
Oh, he was in mid-season form. I mean, he just came out firing.
But I'm sure he's mad about the kickoff, the way they're doing things.
Multiple coaches walking off the job.
Yeah,
100%.
I'm looking forward to doing that show tonight. So double duty here on a Wednesday. One more nugget here: the CJ and the paper tickets or the paper sheets over at Circa. This was from our Vegas trip. We were hanging out down the book, and I looked over and got
what's going on
CJ.
here?
This is after the rhythm party, and you know that because CJ's holding a rhythm hat.
Yep.
He's holding like 5 sheets in his hand, but he still needed to be able to hold some more sheets. So he's like a dog. Right. He's got holding the sheets in his mouth like a bone.
I was gonna say, don't zoom in. That might be the exact same baseball.
That's fine.
It probably is.
That's fine.
But I like a T-shirt, like this automatic T-shirt. I always wash my sheets before I bring them home. When I leave them out of Las Vegas, because it's like bringing a book into the bathroom. Like that's been marked, you know, like the Seinfeld. The sheets always get washed out of Vegas before I bring them out to Los Angeles.
So you got one of those clean rooms that you got to stand in and decompress on the way into your house.
Yeah, that was actually a live photo you took, Sean. So there's a good boomerang. I think I'm actually pulling one of the I think I was grabbing some Masters futures while I had the baseball in there, and of course we had a full day of basketball props I had to get through.
I'll say this, and I dare someone to argue me off this ledge. It's the number one best thing about the Circa is the 24-hour sports.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could think of a better thing about that. That place is awesome.
Right.
But the fact that you can get, can you tell me another place that's offering?
Well, I mean, so many times I've had like a late night, especially from doing the show, I'll have maybe a game I'm sweating out during the show. And then you go and then we have some cocktails. I'm like, should I play blackjack? Oh, I could cash this ticket.
Yeah, you can.
And luckily the counter's still open, or getting in some last minute bets, a la some extra added Eagles -7.5 alt lines late night. So it is super convenient.
Some might say, well, but Sean, the kiosk.
Yeah.
They don't know about the relative the limits in the kiosk make it so you should, if you're going to the kiosk, all right. So rule number 2, right? If you say Tyler Show, you don't know ball. If I see you making a bet at the kiosk and you're not doing a gimmick like speed bets, I'm judging you for your bet size.
Yes. Speed bets, a fun segment on VSiN where Ryan and I race down to the kiosk, see who can come back with the ticket in the segment. Again, maybe we'll bring that back. Well, currently we've each won one round of speed betting. I blame the guy who was, there was a guy trying to get coffee at his seat. It was a nightmare. If you saw
a lot of things were going against you. I played a part against you. That came up during my show today. And degenerates that were watching they said they loved the segment, by the way. They loved the speed betting segment, but I gave them an update because not only did you lose that speed betting to Ryan, but then you
sold that ticket.
I did not want to.
Then I gave you $300 and you spit in its face and you threw it on the ground in the street. So I had to pick it up. I mean, it was off the street.
I put in $100 bet off CJ's suggestion of the women Lady Huskies UConn to win the tournament. I didn't really want that action. Now CJ was like, hey, I'll buy it off you. CJ gave me the 100. He got in at 3-1.
Yep.
Now, obviously, since then, UConn's won a couple games, and Juju Watkins for USC got injured.
They won a couple games by a combined 100 points.
Yes, there are some blowouts in the latest tournament. So won comfortably. Now that price it was 3-1 when I put it in. I think it's down to like 150.
Yeah, but they're your odds-on favorite, even over South Carolina, because of the Lord bless us with a Juju Watkins torn ACLV, I like to call it.
Seriously.
We got that. I mean,
can't believe you were able to give him $100 for $300.
Just gave it to me.
That's
just gave it away.
Unreal. Unreal.
All right. Let's bring Malcolm on. Before we do, of course, shout out to DraftKings. Of course, college basketball March Mania is here. You know about it. You get the buzzer beaters, even though there was some controversial traveling. If you want 2 minutes of traveling takes, check out the show with Colby earlier in the week. But again, DraftKings is great, and we're going to be using some of these DraftKings numbers when we talk baseball here with our buddy Malcolm. Of course, DraftKings, get in there, live betting, the Nerfies, the Yerfies. There's so much great stuff over on DraftKings, and obviously for March, it's the ultimate college basketball destination. First time over at DraftKings. Here's something special: new customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. I still think Arkansas to win it all at 100-1 is a fun sprinkle, especially if it's a bonus bet. Again, it's bonus. It's a free roll. You got to go big or go home on the free rolls. Lines and objects are subject to change. Bet the unexpected with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SGP. That's code SGP for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text OPENY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. 21 plus. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see gkng.co/AUDIO. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm. You saw CJ rocking that sweet Rhythm hat. And you know we love Rhythm. Rhythm, great for college basketball. Been on a nice little heater there with our. Of course, we had a Rhythm model that we built named Po' Boy King. Po' Boy King's been on a nice little run here, and not only sides totals, also get you covered for props. And they just said MLB should be going live any day now. So if you're looking for some MLB plays, get in over there as well. If you're looking for a bonus play that our model likes the BYU Alabama under 175.5. It's too high. Give us the under with Rhythm. And of course, sign up and build your own model. Very easy. Get the 7-day free trial. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Joining us on the line from the MLB Gambling Podcast across the pond, you know him, you love him, the one and only Malcolm Bamford. Malcolm, thanks for calling in, man. How you doing?
Oh, you can really tell that accent.
Malcolm, you may be muted.
Is it us or him?
Yeah, no, it's gotta be him, right?
Created mid-season form, boys, already.
Yes. Spring training for everybody.
How you doing?
Great.
I'll tell you why I was on mute. The disrespect you were showing baseball is quite scurrilous, frankly.
Yeah.
The language, Sean. You used the word. You remembered baseball was on. You used the word crowbar. You crowbarred this show in. Honestly, it's so funny. Like, it's almost like you don't deserve this entire page of winners.
Look at that.
Handwritten.
And you and CJ with the handwritten sheets.
Yes.
Very analog over here.
Now
the
analog man across the pond. I love it.
Now, yes. Malcolm, obviously you're over there in jolly old England. Now, where do you stand out with your friends when it comes to baseball? I know obviously you do the show with your fellow Americans, but when you're getting excited, the baseball season's about to start, are your friends like, do they not care about baseball at all? Your sports buddies in England, do you have people to talk about? I think you're in like a rec league, baseball league, or at least you were. Who else is into baseball in England that you could talk to for the season?
Absolutely nobody is the short answer. Literally, I'm on my own. Apart from the Newcastle Nighthawks, like you say, I still go down and play with those boys. But that's a lot of expats. So there's a lot of Americans and Canadians. There's a ton of Dominicans play down there. And then there's a lot of Asian students. Newcastle's a big university town. So there's a lot of Japanese and Korean kids who study over here.
Yeah.
And of course, baseball being their national sport. And then there's like 4 rubbish old white men like me who go along and just park the deck chair up and have a couple of beers. So that's the baseball crowd. But my mates couldn't be less interested. Like, not interested at all.
I remember when Malcolm made the long trip to Las Vegas to visit us, Sean.
No, that was quite the journey.
On top of the journey being an amazing tale, if you ever hear Malcolm tell it, but he was very stoked to be flying over minor league baseball cities on his way to the west coast of the United States.
That is the fun part about baseball: the random ass minor league towns and the mascots.
Well, the latest one to make news is that Oysters.
Logo, well, there was. That's been the baseball discussions I've been having with my wife, where the Tetas Texas hat. If you missed that, of course, Tetas is Spanish for tits, and basically MLB put out a hat that said Tetas for the Texas Rangers, and then there was the Oakland A's.
The Anals.
It was A with a bunch of S's, and then there was the California Angels, where it kind of looked like it spelled anals. Now, Malcolm, is this an actual accident for these hats, or is this a brilliant marketing ploy by MLB to get young people interested in baseball again?
No, MLB don't do anything intentionally brilliant. Anything that's happened like that will entirely be an accident. Yeah, they don't like baseball. It's a bit of an odd thing, really, to be in charge of, but they actively try and disrupt it at all points.
It's got some elements of like college sports to it.
Yeah,
where the moves often are like, oh, interesting. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna play some game. Okay.
Did you go to the London series last year? Phillies,
of course you did.
Mets, of course,
yes.
Right? Yeah.
I was astonished at just how unpleasant the Phillies fans were. I made a point of telling Sean.
We thought they'd blend in perfectly
beforehand, but I thought they can't be that bad, can they? But they were, all of them. So yeah, but it was good fun. I enjoyed it a lot. There's no games this year in London. I don't know why.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, that's put a hole in my social calendar for the year. Yeah.
There's baseball for you. Why?
It seemed like a success. That's weird that they wouldn't go back there, get things going. All right, Malcolm, we're gonna walk through division by division, get your take on it, your best bets. Obviously, check out the MLB Gambling Podcast. Get in over there, check out their division previews. I already see Damien firing off. He likes Guardians Royals over 7.5. Favorite bet for tomorrow. Of course, MLB. Get your daily plays over on the MLB Gambling Podcast. We'll start with the AL.
Well, real quick, Sean, in tradition, I will be placing a large bet on the first day of baseball. To see if I plan on betting any more in the rest of the baseball season.
That was pretty fun, where Kramer, I think his large bet was no, or it was under a half. It was Murphy.
It was each team not to score in the first inning, and obviously both teams.
Yeah.
So I played all 3. And it was over within like 4 pitches.
I think it was like opening batter jacked one, and Ryan's like, "All right, I'm out. Screw this." It was the shortest run of baseball fandom and gambling I've ever seen.
Ryan picked the no triple in the series in the World Series.
Yes, I remember
that went down in the first inning as well. It's like
lead off triple, right?
Like 7 minutes into that was the end of it.
I'm on a real heater when it comes to baseball betting.
At least you know you're cooked right away.
Yeah, but I got you didn't even compliment my baseball.
Oh yeah,
shirt.
you do have your baseball gear.
I was deciding, do I go Dodgers or Yankees? Now that I'm a full 50-50 jersey.
Oh really?
I've lived here longer than I lived there now.
You got to go Yankees.
All right. Well, and perfect.
The Dodgers might be really good.
The Dodgers are, Yankees are kind of the underdog, at least compared to the Dodgers.
Dodgers are too good to like.
I'm getting a 50-50 jacket if they make the World Series.
AL East, Malcolm. Obviously, the Yankees are the favorite. O's right behind them there. Blue Jays, the long shot, 12-1. What do you like to win the division, or any win totals? What's your favorite play in the AL East?
Favorite play is the Boston Red Sox.
Yes.
Wasn't the Yankees to start with, and then they've suffered some injury troubles lately. Garrett Cole's gone down for the season. Boston have done some really nice things. Garrett Crochet, stud. Walker Buehler, we know. Alex Bregman they picked up. They've got a kid, Christian Campbell, who we might talk about a little bit later on in the show. 3-1 to win the division's really good. I don't fancy the Orioles much. Toronto alive, but probably a little bit too big. But two plays. Boston to make the playoffs is a great price, but it's -130. Probably not a working man's price. But Boston to win the division is 3-1, Sean.
Now we're talking.
Yes.
All right, so you like the Red Sox to win the division 3-1? I'll tell Malcolm on that. Why not? Who wants to take the Yankees as a favorite there?
This
CJ,
is disgusting.
What are you doing? Anything you like in this division?
I'm on the Red Sox as well, 3-1. I think that's a great price for this team. I agree. Toronto's just in a bad spot there. Wrong division for them to be playing in. How about I got speaking of CLV, I got Alex Bergman to lead the league in doubles at 45-1. It's now 16-1.
Wow.
I mean, he's going to slap him off that monster.
That is
right?
a big old number.
Big old number.
This is disgusting.
Kramer, what are you throwing out there?
Treason. Of all people, Malcolm,
now, the Red Sox,
a man from across the pond rooting for the Boston Red Sox.
Well, the Red Sox are the most popular team in England, right?
Is that true?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Wait, who? All right, Malcolm, if you had to call a team, who is your team?
I don't have one. When people ask me, I say the Mets.
That's weird.
Okay. That's fair enough.
That's tough, yeah.
Watching. So I'll look for their score first. When you have to tick a box on the MLB homepage as to what team they're going to force feed you stuff, it's the Mets. That's the box I tick.
That's respect, but this is disgusting. 3 Red Sox plays. I'm on the Yankees. Obviously, huge
Terrible
Yankees
number.
fan. Oh, they're going to overcome the injury to Garrett Cole. Also, extremely sharp baseball handicapper Adam Rosenberg likes them to win the division. So
I will say this, Malcolm, you can back me up on this, but about the Red Sox, I do have them, and I love Garrett Crochet. He's an absolute stud. But they got Walker Buehler as their number 2, and I don't know. He looked terrible out here. I mean, he just came off Tommy John, but I don't really believe in Walker Buehler. He could be done forever. And then their next 3 starters, their last 3 starters are all on the injured list, right? Their whole rotation's hurt right now.
They've sort of got 3 folks who were identical, like Tanner Houck.
And they're all good, but they're hurt now.
The other one. But yeah, Giolito will be around. Brian Bellows, my guy. Patrick Sandoval come back at the end of the year. They'll be all right. And they did add, like I said, the bats are good. Alex Bregman's got the highest OPS in that stadium of any player with over 75 plate appearances. So that I love your doubles play, CJ. You're absolutely on the right lines.
Thank you.
that's a great number.
That's a great. Well, tons of
great number.
Tons of CLV. All right, let's kick it over to the AL Central. What do we like in the AL Central, Malcolm? What are you doing here? Favorite bet?
We still calling them the Guardians, or are they the Indians again?
No, I think still Guardians. White Sox are a comical 250-1 to win the division. I mean, I like a good DGen play, but what's your favorite?
This
move
is like
here?
the movie Major League. Just instead of the Indians, it's the White Sox.
I think the Newcastle Nighthawks could give the White Sox a game. This isn't a really good betting division because apart from the White Sox, you could throw a blanket over the teams at the top there. They're all sort of projected within 4 or 5 games of each other. And I'll shout out Noah Beanick here because this is a WTF. We've got the wrong team favoured. The Twins should be the favourites here and not the Royals. So yeah, I'd take the Twins at plus 225 to win the division would be my best bet here.
So this is interesting because I feel like Malcolm sometimes has way different markets. How old is this sheet, CJ? This is fairly old. We need to get.
I got it this weekend. What are you talking about? I was just in Vegas with you. What do you think?
What is the price on? What do we have the price
currently? On? DraftKings promo code SGP has the Twins at plus 210, but we'll call it 220.
What are the Royals at?
Royals are 270.
See, look, the odds across the pond are different. I'm telling you.
What do you see the Royals at there, Malcolm?
Plus 280. I'm seeing.
Oh, okay.
No. All
right. Yeah, I'm on the Royals.
Well, people are looking Royals. Yeah.
All right,
CJ, what are you doing?
I'm on the Twins, although this is pretty amazing.
Me versus you guys.
They talk about a team that did absolutely nothing in the offseason. They signed 3 players for a total of $10 million. How's that even possible in baseball? If you
they roll.
Just waking up, you're spending $10 million.
That's how they roll. Yeah, that's like a ball boy.
Right. I mean, that is just absolutely not trying, but I think they're going to stumble. I think Cleveland comes down a lot. I definitely want to fade Cleveland. They were extremely lucky last year. There's no way. I'm under pretty big.
I trust Malcolm. He's the MLB expert. I'll roll with his play here on the Twins.
It's not smart that I've disagreed with our baseball.
I like.
Yeah, what are you doing?
I do like how it's us 3 versus Ryan.
You know how typically in this kind of situation, I don't want to pull the curtain back all the way, but I may have fired off a message to someone 5 minutes before the show that said, "Give me picks for these things."
Yeah, so Ryan's cheating off someone else's homework. Meanwhile, I'm cheating from.
Well, I modified a couple.
Yeah, we got our expert right here. Why are you?
Because I'll pick and choose when I follow the Brit in baseball. It's American sport.
Malcolm, what about the AL West? Anything jumping out at you here? What's the favorite play for the AL West?
The headline here is I don't want anything to do with Houston, and obviously they're the favourites for the division. Which, by process of elimination, Houston could finish 4th in this division. By the way,
yeah,
I like Texas at 2-1. But if we're putting the smudge of doom next to Houston, then if you can get the Texas and Seattle 1-2, like the exacta kind of thing,
yes.
The Athletics will be okay. Like I say, they could leapfrog Houston. Possibly. But yeah, I don't want anything to do with Houston, which leaves us with Seattle and Texas. So Texas to win, but Seattle can follow them home if you can find an exacta play.
Wow. And the A's are playing in Sacramento, right?
Yep.
Yes.
That's got to be a weird. There's got to be an element to that. It's a small ballpark, right? It's like a minor league park.
Yeah, it's a AAA park. I think they're going to have a sneaky home advantage. The A's. I think they're slated to sell out pretty much every home game. It's about 13,000.
Yeah,
which isn't loads. The Sacramento people apparently have taken them. They're going to be there 2 or 3 years, so they've taken them on board. And with it being a slightly alien environment, the A's could turn that to their advantage, I think.
Strange idea, but what if this drives baseball teams to realize that smaller stadiums are cooler?
No,
it probably won't work.
That might be a good idea that baseball would never go with. You know what? I was watching VSiN and they had a guest on. I'm going to tail his play. He gave out A's to have the most wins in April, that market at 60-1. And he made a good case. Basically, hey, this new home field advantage might not know how to play it. Like their schedule in April, if you look at it,
do they get to play the A's?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Besides,
they have to have the White Sox on the schedule, right?
Yes, I think they got the White Sox. They got the Rockies. He made a good case for it, so I'll take a sprinkle on that at 60-1.
And I would the exacta that Malcolm threw out earlier is. Oh wait, I'm in the wrong dude.
Give me that 1 too. I love a good horse exacta for division. Because I'll fill the time as you're scrolling, Ryan.
There it is. We got it 6-1. 6-1.
Ooh, all right.
What do you like here, CJ?
Do you box that, or that's an exact 1 too?
Just Texas. So we go Texas Seattle. 6-1.
I'm on Seattle plus 250. I'm seeing right now, the third favorite there to win the division. I'm thinking a big year for Seattle. Not to tease the future award. I got some awards coming in for Seattle as well.
Wow.
Are the A's worth a sprinkle there? 30-1. I mean, I do like the A's kind of being competitive this year.
No,
I think the way to play it is
legit models fading them every game. Last year, they're not going to win the division.
I mean, I think they might have a good run. So maybe find like A's to have the most. I do like the idea of like finding months to play them for the most wins, maybe in their division, like alt market where it's not the entire season. I mean, Malcolm, where are you at with this A's team? Is there any, like, to me, to do it for the entire season is too much, but they might have some small bursts of decent play in here, right?
I like them a lot. The A's are a team I'll be looking at every day to try and find a spot for them. They've got loads of really good, fun young players.
Yes.
The Lawrence Butler and Brent Rooker were the second best 1-2 in MLB last year, I think, behind Soto and Judge. If they need a little bit more pitching, but yeah, on a daily basis, one of my go-tos will be who are the Athletics playing and what's the angle in. I like Jeffrey Springer's. They've got all that pitching stuff. It's young, JPCS, Joey Estes, and Mason Miller's an absolute stud out the pen. A slightly alien environment at home can only benefit them. I don't think it can hurt them at all. They say they've got the crowd behind them, but they'll be one of those teams where there's an angle in. Sean, you're right in saying it could be a monthly thing, but there'll be an angle in where you say at the end of the year, if you back Oakland in this situation, you'll be 38 points ahead. We just got to find the situation. So we'll keep working on it.
I like that. Yeah, there's probably going to be some trend that develops that the A's are smashing. Kramer, what are you doing?
A's going like a 10-game win streak.
Yeah, like longest win streak, maybe.
That might be a fun long shot market. No, I like the Rangers to win, but I liked Malcolm's exact to better.
Okay,
so I'll take that at 6-1.
Texas 1, Seattle 2.
Yeah,
6-1.
Houston still is paying for some sins of the past.
Yeah. They made some weird decisions where they kept, like, obviously getting rid of Tucker and just like, and their pitching is going to be bad, but yet they still paid money like for players that made no sense. I don't know what they're trying to make everyone happy. It's weird.
Cheaters and Mattress Mac still a thing, so gotta go against that one.
The NL East kicking it over to the NL East. Philly's obviously going to cruise, win the division, smash. Tell me I'm wrong, Malcolm.
I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. In all honesty, this is a little bit too tricky, even for me to make a play. The Phillies, the Braves, and the Mets are all projected very, very to finish very closely together. I love the Mets lineup, but the pitching's just falling apart. I'm not convinced by the Braves particularly. The pick I've got is for one of these bum teams down here, and I really like Washington. I think Washington can have a good year. And it's a little teaser on the total. I've got Washington to record 80 wins or more at 4-1.
That's a working man's price.
Exactly. That's the sort of price we like. And Miami to have the worst record in MLB at 5-1. Their lineup is barely a double-A lineup. Like it's absolutely minging. Obviously the White Sox we know suck quite hard, but it's not a huge leap for Miami to be just as bad. 5-1's a perfectly fair price as well.
Is Jeter still involved down there?
Oh, no idea.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough look for winning. The guy was a winner on the field.
Now wait, what was it? Was it Tampa Bay, the Devil Rays that had their stadium destroyed and they're just like, we're not going to do anything about it. They're not going to build a new stadium, right?
Please, it's the Rays.
Oh, the Rays.
2025.
Where
that devil.
Malcolm, where are the Rays playing baseball this year?
All they're doing at the minute is having town hall meetings about who's going to pay to throw the tarp back over the roof. No one's going to stump up. They're playing at the New York Yankees spring training facility of all things.
That's hilarious.
Down there. So they're not a million miles away. That, by the way, we'll get on to Tampa Bay in a bit, but there's some really fun angles in because of that. The park is identical to Yankee Stadium, obviously for training purposes. So yeah, that's where they are.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't realize that makes sense that the spring training park is exactly the same size as the actual Yankees stadium. Yeah. Oh, okay. Learn something new every day. CJ, any
real quick, Jeter stepped in 2022. Jeter stepped down as CEO and no longer holds any shares. So when he left, everything went to shit.
He's not involved at all.
Reputation? No.
Maybe that's why he's on Fox.
Sold his 4% ownership as well.
I'll keep it simple. I'll take the Phillies. Get it done. Let's go, Phils. CJ, what are you doing?
I'm actually on the Braves here. It's not a great number, plus 110. I think they have a bounce. This is what the Braves do in a regular season. They win them, and the Phillies winning the division. It just didn't seem right. That's kind of why they faltered in the playoffs. They like to come in towards the end, keep that hot streak going. As the wild card, and that's how they get you in the playoffs. Listen, you're going to hear a lot from the Phillies on my sheet later on during this conversation. Don't you roll me. Get your Braves, get your 98 win season. They got Strider back. They got Acuna back. I mean, they're going to be great. That's what they are in the regular season. But they're regular season wins. They always have been, always will be.
I was originally going to pick the Phillies, but I'd rather not support a team from Philadelphia.
Oh, what are you doing?
Give me I'm going to copy our baseball expert Malcolm once again. 80 wins.
Ooh,
4-1.
That's spicy. Kicking it over to the NL Central. What do you like here, Malcolm? What's your favorite play? Win total, division? What are we doing?
I was gonna say, I don't know we can toss totals in there.
No, wow.
A little bit. Your favorite play of the division,
for crying out loud.
Yeah, bit of a weird division, this one. I feel like we should go with friend of the show, Justin Steele.
Oh,
in his
of course.
Chicago Cubs. He takes the ball tomorrow. He pitched last week in Tokyo, so he's had one opening day. But he gets another one tomorrow. He takes the ball in Arizona. So I would plump for the Cubs. It's another little total teaser here. It's the Cincinnati Reds, who've got tons of upside players and loads of pitching depth, more pitching depth than you'd realise for the Reds. The Reds to win 80 games is plus 115, so not as glamorous a price as the Nationals. And I'm absolutely out on St. Louis. Anyone who listened to the show, I feel like I kind of bullied St. Louis last year, but they were dog shit last year, and they're going to be worse this year. Pittsburgh to win more games than St. Louis is minus 105. It's a bit of a bum fight, but St. Louis will finish. We took them 16-1 to finish bottom of that division last year. Probably an unlucky loser. I think they'll definitely finish bottom this time round. Pittsburgh to outwin St. Louis at minus 105.
Ooh, like those.
Wow.
I'm going to keep it simple. Support friend of the program, Justin Steele, taking the Cubs to win the division, plus 135. CJ, what do you like?
Yeah, I'm also on the Cubs. I want to get there with the Reds. They just always disappoint me, though. Every time I think they're ready to do something, although I love Elliot Cruz, of course.
He's fun to watch.
Yeah, he's great. He's electric, as they will. The Cubs did a little bit, obviously getting Kyle Tucker. I wish they got a pitcher. They need a pitcher. They could have easily signed Corbin Burns. I don't know why they didn't. I mean, they were trying to get Alex Bregman, but it's just weird for me. But with this division, that'll be enough, I think, to win it. So they're at plus 135. I'm looking at.
Yeah, plus 135 for the
also,
Cubs.
they had that rookie sensation, Matty Shaw, third base. Not to predict not to spoil any other rookie of the year awards.
Okay,
Matt Shaw, he's coming up immediately too, which gives him a heads up advantage.
Kramer, what are you doing? Give us a play.
Well, I was gonna support friend of the program Justin Steele as well. Over 142 and a half strikeouts.
Oh, okay. I like
minus
that.
115.
And he already has some, right? Because he had how many did he have against Dodgers? I think he had 5 or 6.
Over 4.5. I know that. I know that.
Steele over 142 Ks. I like that. That's a fun prop.
And you want to sprinkle him to have the most Ks in the National League.
What's
it's
that?
100-1.
Whoa, my God.
Now that's a price. All right, that's pretty tempting. I mean,
those were my picks.
May have to add that to the
steal
card.
Those from anyone.
NL West closing out the division stuff.
Congratulations on that, Kramer.
Yeah,
that's the fun one.
The good picks are mine.
Dodgers, obviously massive favorites here in the NL West. Malcolm, is there anything interesting to take here? Maybe a win total. Dodgers are minus 500 to win the division. Maybe if you have an angle on fading them. What's your take on the NL West here?
The Dodgers are obviously very prohibitively priced. They've got all the good players. That'll be why that is. All of them. Oh, yeah, you crack on. They're a juggernaut. They're unstoppable. They'll be fun to watch. The rest of this division, the Padres don't blow my skirt up particularly. The Giants are the most 500 team. The Giants are just like a grey baseball team. They never get on my radar. I never watch them. I never bet them. I never know how they've got on. They're just, everything about them screams just average. Like, it's an exercise in futility being the Giants, which leaves obviously we can put a line through the Rockies. I really like the Diamondbacks. 89 wins last year. They got better. They've picked up Corbin Burns, Josh Naylor. So we're going to tease them up to 90 wins. That's one more than last year, by the way. The line's 86, and I think they've got enough upside to get to 90, plus 175 for the D-backs to win 90 games.
I'm going to tail that because there's no fun. There's no fun in playing the Dodgers and 90 wins. Malcolm sold me. Seems doable, and I like the juicy price at plus 175. CJ, what are you doing here? What do you like?
Put me on that as well. I mean, I have the Dodgers win division, but I'm not going to lay the juice. And as you'll see in the sheet that I'm not exactly copying, I have 2 win totals under Cleveland 82.5, over Arizona 86.5.
Ooh, well, there you go.
So I might as well play the 90.
Come on, let's
tail. I love these D-backs. They did sign Corbin Burns. They will have an ace. You know what's funny? I wanted to say, Malcolm, real quick, it's hilarious how Colorado, they are awful. Put a line through them, but they don't even have any young like rookies or young players. They have an awful like 30-year-olds. Like, what are they doing? Like, if you're going to be terrible, have some young development.
Have some hope.
Right. I don't understand what they're doing at all. Like, how do you get like just boring veterans to be awful?
The Rockies used to be quite good fun, like on certain days to bet them at home, or they might have one pitcher. Some of the decision making the Rockies front office made has been absolutely baffling. And then when they did spend money like on Chris Bryant in 22, it just couldn't have gone more wrong. So yeah, you could play a game now with if I read out the Rockies lineup or bullpen. And you wouldn't have a clue who they were. Like, you'd have no idea.
I know, it's crazy.
All right,
Sean
Kramer, what are you doing?
So you guys were saying a lot of smart things.
Yes, as we do.
You can also get, which they might not need, or maybe they will, maybe they won't need 90 wins to achieve this. Arizona to finish in second place in the division.
What's that price?
Plus 165.
Okay.
Ooh.
I don't mind that.
Which I guess I hadn't thought too much about the comparison between the two. Obviously, you can get over 90 and get third place. What are let's see, I can pull this up, but I'd imagine this is right around, if Arizona's projection is somewhere where you're getting plus 175 for 90, it's probably 86.
86.5 is their total. What is the Padres though? Yeah, I think the Padres are right there with them. Though.
Padres are based on the division.
Same price.
Same?
Yeah.
Okay. Based on division prices, Arizona has a slight edge. Maybe there's a little bit more optimism. It sounds like amongst at least the sharp baseball.
They're plus 600. I mean, you would need about 17 or 18 injuries to the Dodgers for that to happen. But
I'll play this. You guys play that. We'll have a little comparison.
We're just helping you out. That's all. We're just giving you more data. That's all.
I'm giving 10 cents.
Baseball's all
because I think they could finish second place with less than 90.
All right. Kramer going off the reservation there. What about
these? Yeah, that was another one of my picks. Thank you, sir.
What about the AL? Who's winning the AL in 2025? Malcolm, who do we like?
I'm going to go all the way back to the first pick we gave out here, the Boston Red Sox.
Ooh.
That's 7-1 for me.
Oh, fuck. Come on.
It's a baby fucking wheel.
I mean, I might not be a baseball fan anymore, but still fuck the Red Sox.
Why will you be rooting for the Red Sox this year here, Malcolm? What do you like about them? Why do you think they're taking home the AL?
I love the business that they're doing. Garrett Crochet, CJ mentioned Alex Bregman at the top. They do need to get a couple of the starting pitchers back sooner rather than later. But the top of that lineup, man, Duran, Devers, Bregman, Cassis, Trevor Story. If they can keep Trevor Story on the field, another top class addition who we haven't seen enough of him. I think he's played 162 games over 3 years, I think it is. And then Christian Campbell, this 22-year-old who's broken camp, second baseman. I'll throw him out. He's my rookie of the year. It's 8-1 Christian Campbell, and he can make the difference as well. They've got a little bit of depth. Sedan Rafaela sets the table again for them, batting 9. He had a good rookie season. I just like everything about them. And they've built this team to compete as well. They never really drop out of win now mode, Boston. You're not allowed to for an organisation that size. But they've had to try hard. After a couple of down years, they've really had to try hard. And like I say, I don't want the Yankees, like the teams around them, don't put the fear of me. It's not like the Dodgers. So I think there's opportunity there for the Red Sox too.
I'm seeing. I'm going to give you a better price here, Malcolm, because over on DraftKings, promo code SGP, I'm seeing the Red Sox 850 to 1, or plus 850 to win the AL.
What was that rookie of the year price you just said, Malcolm?
8-1 Christian Campbell.
Very, very nice.
Yeah, I'll tail Malcolm's Red Sox there. CJ, what do you like here?
What is this?
What do you like in the AL, CJ?
I think it's their time. They've been a disappointment every year. They come out strong. Seattle Mariners plus 950. It's a gentleman's price. I don't know how much of a working man's is there, but it's a gentleman's price. Seriously. Plus 950 for the Seattle Mariners. I think they get that division. I think they're going away. And like I said, I like the Red Sox too. They're very trendy, but I'm not a Walker Buehler believer at this stage in his career, by the way. And I just like Seattle. I think they have a couple of aces out there, and then not to spoil any of my awards coming up as well.
Kramer, I'm assuming you're taking the Yankees.
Yeah, I was just double checking with Grok real quick, make sure. Oh my God, Grok's even taking the Red Sox.
Really?
Get the fuck out of here!
Shout out to Grok.
I think that's Gronk.
Well, it might be Gronk, but I mean, yeah, all that chowder went to his head. Give me the Yankees. Although, if I wasn't a hardcore Yankees fan, I might take a look at the Rangers, but I'm a Yankees fan.
Over in the NL, Malcolm, can you make a case for anyone besides the Dodgers, a la the Phillies? Can we get it done? What do you like in the NL, Malcolm?
Yeah, sorry, I'm not going to win any prizes, but it's the Dodgers. It has to be the Dodgers plus 230. You probably won't bet them in isolation, but the Dodgers over the Red Sox is 35-1. If you're going to go that way, so that boosts it up a little bit. But yeah, I can't see past them. When we get the World Series picks, I'll tell you why I can't see past them as well.
Kramer, what are you doing here? You going Dodgers as well? I mean, plus 160 is kind of not that's what I'm currently seeing on DK. That's almost not a bad price considering what huge favorites they are.
Let's go off the reservation.
Really?
Yeah. Let's take the Cubs. No, with our guy Justin Steele. Give me the Cubs.
Okay, what do you got the Cubs?
What do we got a price at? I don't have a price right now. This is a pure audible. Hold on a second.
Cubs are 15-1.
Perfect. Shout out to Justin Steele. Jake, when you make the graphic, make sure to tag Justin Steele. Point out that only one of us selected the Cubs.
I'll take the Phils. Let's go Phils. A 7-game series. Going to be plenty of Phillies fans at Chavez Ravine rooting them on, getting them a victory. CJ, are you tailing? Are you letting your heart do some thinking here?
My heart and head are in the same place. Phillies to win the National League plus 650 is a nice price for a team that we owned the Dodgers last year.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
If we didn't fall apart on our face in front of the Mets, one of the worst disgusting things, the Dodgers were in fear. They were. Phillies. Now they might have improved a little bit. They might have got 2 more aces. Why not? Yippee! Go Dodgers! As Malcolm said, they have all of the great players, but Phillies. If there's ever a now or never year for the Phillies, it's here. The window is about to shut, and they're all in their 30s. They're all getting old, but they have one more. They got one more last run in them. So give me the Phillies plus 650.
World Series champ. Malcolm, you just gave out. You like the Dodgers over the Red Sox, 35-1. That's a fun exacta. Do you have any other prices you like?
Well, all winter long, one of the books that I use over here. But no one bets on baseball, so I think they just left this price and forgot about it. They had a price boost on the Dodgers to win the World Series at 5-1, which was so all I did was, and this is one of my, I think I've mentioned this before, when I have a little winner, So whenever I was hitting your Mike Evans anytime touchdown plays,
all
of that shit all winter, I just put the loose change on the Dodgers. So if I won $33.42, pounds, who am I talking to? I would put the £3.42 on at 5-1, and all of those little odds and sods have ended up. So I've got loads of money on the Dodgers at 5-1. God, I counted it up the other day, and I was really quite impressed with myself. Just because I had to, I was given no option. It would have been negligent of me not to put all that money on at 5-1, and I wasn't prepared to do that. So I'm really all in on them, but only because they boosted the price.
Well, and I want to see the open bets for Malcolm's account and CJ's account, because Malcolm's account, it must be so many like $1, $2, like all these little things adding up. CJ, I feel like has a bunch of pending action, right? CJ,
for a price, I'll open up that window. I'm not. That's not free information. Maybe I'll put that over on Signal, some encrypted message board. But
that's a great OnlyFans. It's just CJ opening up his pending bets and letting you peek behind the curtain there.
That's a hilarious idea for a private live stream.
A pixelated pending sheet.
It's all blurred out until you pay.
You can see what the bet is, but not the amount. It's blurred out.
Pending pixels.
Oh, that would.
You got to upgrade for the get the blur away.
So there's no long shots that are interesting, right, Malcolm?
I love how he's rounding up for the Dodgers. That's excellent.
I've just had a look now. I've filtered it down to baseball bets, and it stretches to 3 pages. So that's kind of where we're at. So I'm on, which page do you want to go to, 1, 2, or 3? But there it is.
So sorry. Any long shots?
I like the Diamondbacks. Obviously Boston, I want to give a puncher's chance to. Seattle, CJ is right alive. I don't mind the Blue Jays. I think they could have a good year. But it is tricky to get away from that juggernaut at the top. The Mets have got some really good players. They're probably a bit short at 10-1. I couldn't touch the Yankees at 9-1. The Orioles are the worst price on the board. I don't want Houston. It's almost a process of elimination that kind of leads you to these top teams. And I love to throw out a long shot. It's something I always try and do. But in this instance, I can offset it with a 250-1 in a player market in a bit. But I'll take it.
We'll stay locked in for that. I'll just take the Phils 12-1. CJ, what are you doing?
For World Series, I'm also on the Phillies 12-1. Like I said, this is their now or never year. They have to do it this year, even though they did not do much to improve, except they added one pitcher. That's about it. But they're going with what they got. Let's go.
Kramer, what are you doing?
All right. So Yankees over the Cubs is somehow 135-1 in the exacta price.
Okay.
Cubs over the Yankees is 120-1.
Ooh. What are you doing, right?
Both of those.
Oh, okay.
Both of those.
You're boxing them.
I'm boxing it.
Yeah.
120-1 one way, 135-1 the other way.
Let's talk.
It's called value.
Let's talk some awards here. Malcolm, what are you doing? Cy Young, AL and NL Cy Young. What do you like?
In the American League, I've got one from kind of every tier of pricing here.
Great.
You have to back Jacob deGrom at 14-1. If he's healthy, he's the best pitcher there is, and that's really the handicap. What I like about him is all he's ever done is try and throw the ball as hard as he possibly can, which has led to his arm flying off. He seems to have eventually realised that he doesn't have to. Like, it's taken him to get to this age. He's said himself, he can just sit at 94, 95. And that sort of with experience, he's learned that. And that's what he's needed to learn for years. It's not max effort the whole time. So if he can look after himself, 14-1 is a great price. Joe Ryan of the Twins at 40-1 is overpriced. He was top class last year. If he can just improve his home ERA slightly, his record's pretty spotless, 40-1. And I like Nathan Eovaldi of Texas. He's bomb-proof. Like, he just goes along and does his thing. He's 100-1, and he's very, very reliable. So with a little bit of improvement there, 100-1's a fair price. In the National League, Chris Sale, you can't look beyond a 10-1. But I like, on the Braves also, Ronaldo Lopez at 100-1. Was outstanding last year. through, where am I looking here? 17 games pre-All-Star break. He pitched to a 188 ERA with 95 strikeouts. He basically had a dodgy month of July, and then he came back. August, September was fine. All he needs to do is eliminate that month, and those are Cy Young winning numbers. 100 to 1's a great price for Ronaldo Lopez.
All right. That one sounds like paper ticket worthy. Yes. I'm gonna copy that one with DeGrom. Or wait,
DeGrom, as we say, Malcolm went from a thrower to a pitcher. I say that when you.
So my 2 National Leagues will be Justin Steele.
Okay, what do you see in his price at?
You can find a 50 to 1.
Yeah, he's got a high number. Real? Yeah, it's pretty outrageous.
I think the Circa either has them at 50 or 40 to 1.
I mean, he came in second, didn't he? A couple years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take Lopez with Malcolm. I like that little handicap there.
So we'll call Steele 50 to 1. That's obviously going to be my play in the NL. And Kramer also adding Lopez 100 to 1. CJ, what do you like in the Cy Young race?
I thought, all right. Well, I went Zach Wheeler, who's a little chalky at 750 at the NL. I mean,
do you need your pool cue over there, CJ?
I mean, well, I thought we were pairing up there. Actually, I saw a preview of the Google sheet before, and I saw a couple Zach Wheelers. And I didn't know they're getting deleted. But okay.
Well, CJ, you have to understand when you do this stuff with Sean long enough, you got to throw in some juice. You know?
Oh, Kramer, you were the one who had Zach Wheeler in there.
I know it was a juke.
Oh, okay.
I'll make up for that with my AL Cy Young and a individual award one. That's at 80 to 1.
Ooh. What do you got?
My Cy Young at 35 to 1 is Bryce Miller over there in Seattle.
Wow.
I'm riding Seattle.
There's your Seattle.
Yeah, I'm loving my Seattle. He's I think he's outrageously priced. I mean, obviously he has got Logan Webb. He's got to compete with on his own team, but I like who I also like. But 35 to 1 is Bryce Miller. And this was, I forgot to mention it during the division. I didn't know we could throw any prop bets in there to lead the league in strikeouts. I got it at 80 to 1. It's now currently at 65 to 1. Still,
Jesus,
65 to 1, still a great number. Tanner Bibby for Cleveland. The side swipe slider. He has a high strikeout.
That's a great name.
Yeah, he's got an amazing bat to whiff ratio, whatever the stat is there. He averages over 5.6 a game. 65 to 1 to lead the league in strikeouts.
All right.
Malcolm, MVP race.
And that's spelled with 2 E's, Sean. Not Mike. Not like Mike Bibby.
Don't let people know. They get very upset. This is a 3-star review coming.
AL, NL, MVP. What do we like here, Malcolm?
In the AL, there wasn't much at the top that tickled my fancy. Julio Rodriguez at 20 to 1, I like. Still only 24. People kind of forget how young he was. If he gets back to his best, 20 to 1's a good price. And I really like Wyatt Langford at 40 to 1. Rookie last year, can do everything. 40 to 1. Adam Rosenberg's, we've talked about Wyatt Langford all winter long, me and Adam. In the National League, obviously Shohei's plus 150. You can only take him on health grounds. Francisco Lindor, 18 to 1. He's generally, I think he deserves more recognition than he ever gets. He's such a rock solid player, and he kind of flies under the radar. So 18 to 1 Lindor. But like I say, that's given if Ohtani for whatever reason goes down on health grounds.
So like it, yeah. Lindor and Wyatt Langford there, a little sprinkle on Rodriguez as well. CJ, I see you're also feeling Julio Rodriguez.
I have Julio Rodriguez at 20 to 1. Malcolm pretty much said everything they need to said. He's still young. He did have a bad year last year. I mean, he's not a big home run hitter. He did have 30 one year though, and obviously anytime you're looking for Aaron Judge to get hurt if you want to hit that market, but he had 150 to 1 to lead the league in home runs, which is pretty outrageous for a young superstar that has been improving, except for last year. But I like him at MVP. I'm all over the Mariners, so I'm all in on Julio Rodriguez and Bryce Miller and everything else. So, and now we got NL MVP.
Yeah, what are you doing in the NL?
Yeah, I toss it just because, like you say, he's so fun to watch. Ellie DeCruz at 15 to 1. He's just so electric, and he can do so much things out there. And when you're talking about an award that's voted on by the writers, you want someone that's going to excite you, and that's exactly what Ellie DeCruz does.
I'll take old Bryce Harper there, 14 to 1, and I'll tail you guys is Julio Rodriguez, 20 to 1. Kramer, what are you doing over there?
All right, I'm gonna have these are outsourced completely. We're gonna go Bryce Harper.
Oh, nice.
From
Good
your
call,
Phillies. Again, this is possibly sourced from Adam Rosenberg. And then I'm going to take over on the Indian Guardians, Jose Ramirez.
Ooh, what do you got Ramirez at, Ryan?
I'm seeing a 17-1.
Yeah, amazing. I had him at 60-1 last year. He's
look at you.
Last year. He's always in contention, but they're like, oh, they'll pitch around him, but he still produced massive numbers last year. Of course, Cleveland was extremely lucky, but Jose Ramirez is just amazing.
AL, NL Rookie of the Years, Malcolm. What do you like here?
I give you Christian Campbell.
Yep.
Earlier on,
8-1.
8-1. The Boston Red Sox. Rookie of the Year. Oh, I've got a Philly, Sean. You'd be pleased to hear.
Ooh, let's go.
This is a bit of a long shot. It's Andrew Painter at 33-1.
Yes.
Now, Andrew Painter was the talking horse 2 years ago. Almost Paul Skeens, like in what people expected of him. But he's been injured. He's had a TJ, etc. Philadelphia have been so careful with him. So careful. Absolutely wrapped him in cotton wool. Even when he's been ready to pitch, they haven't let him pitch. Like, say, no, you stand there and don't move. I reckon he'll be up by May, June. This is the only issue. He needs to be up there long enough for it to count. But at 33-1, it's factored into the price. Andrew Painter at 33s. If he can get up, he can have the same effect. Similar time to what Skeens got up there last year. It was mid-season. There's enough time for him to make it count.
And they need help at pitching. So I'll tail. That'll be my Rookie of the Year play. I'm going to pass in the AL market. No value. Too sharp of a market. CJ, CJ, what do you like in the AL?
Passing on the Rookie of the Year mark.
It's the only thing I'm going to pass on.
Amazing.
Come on, roast this man.
Oh Lord! I mean, it doesn't matter. You can find value anywhere.
Andrew Painter, 35-1. Malcolm made a great case.
That's an amazing case.
And they could use a young pitcher, obviously. So I think that checks a lot of boxes.
2 Rookie of the Years. AL, I went Jacob Wilson at 9-1 over there at the A's. That A's team that we like has got a lot of young talent, a lot of young popping in that weird Sacramento ballpark. Position players have an advantage over pitchers when it comes to Rookie of the Year. That's for sure. We know that. So
it does seem like that.
And especially when it's going to be up there since April, since opening day, you get a heads up on them. So I do like Jacob Wilson, but I'm going to now counteract what I just said because I have a friend of the program myself.
Oh,
for the NL Cy Young, Rookie of the Year, I mean, which I didn't even realize he was eligible.
This is a C-generate.
This is a C-generate.
Oh, wow. Yes, let's go.
Pitcher for the Braves. Pitcher for the Braves, AJ Smith-Sauer. He's at 15-1.
Let's go.
He actually pitched in the playoffs 2 years ago versus Phillies. In the Phillies, I talked to him. He came to one of my shows down in Dallas. He's a Texas boy. He was out with Derek Holland. We were doing things afterwards. I won't get into too many details, but let's just say he's a good guy.
Likes to have a good time.
Good guy. He's a Texas fireballer, stringer, and I go. He's like, yeah, I pitched in the. I was giving him shit, obviously, for being a Phillies fan. We just beat him, and this is the year Texas actually won the World Series. But he's like, I did love pitching, in Philly. It's got great fuck you energy. He said at Old Stadium and at playoffs. He goes, that's what I love. And he became a fan of mine. We became a fan. We follow each other. He's in the chat room sometimes.
Let's go.
Yeah. So 15-1. Oh,
I will tail
I can't really believe he's eligible. He's great.
I will tail that. And we don't have any personal relations in the American League side.
No, unfortunately. All our fans are
and
NL.
I can't tail Malcolm. Malcolm, are any of these players on the Yankees going for a Rookie of the Year?
No.
Cam, who?
Well, Jason Dominguez might have a sniff, but yeah, not for me.
I also will pass on the American League. Although I did actually take that back. Great Italian American from Florida. We remember him making massive waves in the College World Series last year.
Yes.
Jack Caglione,
made guy,
25-1. That metal bat power will carry over into the wood bat of the professional baseball.
He's got a no-show gig here. Malcolm, is there any, and obviously everyone subscribe, still plenty of time to check out the division previews on the MLB Gambling Podcast daily picks episode with Malcolm, Scotty Reichel, Dylan Rockford, and Alante as well. Any plays we didn't get to? Any other baseball thoughts you want to throw out there, Malcolm?
Well, the first pick show should be live now. Myself and Dylan recorded that a little while ago. Don't forget, we've got the prop show, which is new.
Yeah.
Scotty Too Hottie and Adam Rosenberg will be knocking out the prop show. No, it's just incredibly exciting, isn't it? I'm like a dog with two dicks. I've got two more plays. I never got two.
All right. I thought odds and sods was going to be my new favorite takeaway, but a dog with two dicks.
Yeah,
I mean, if that's great.
If that doesn't lift your skirt up, I don't know what does.
Yeah, I'm gonna start using that around the house.
So the dog is excited that they have two dicks.
Well, he's just so excited. I'll let Malcolm explain. Malcolm,
it's a lot of wagon.
A dog with two dicks. Walk us through this.
You be excited, Ryan?
I guess I had never thought about the idea of having two dicks.
You're more excited.
Yeah.
It's like when when my wife.
Does that mean 4 testicles?
He doesn't know he's a dog. That's the point of the saying. He's just like, hey, look at this thing. Let me do
what if I do?
Yeah, let me do something reckless with it.
Yeah, feels dangerous.
All right.
It's like dangerous. If my wife's cooking and I know I'm going to get laid, I'm going to dog with two dicks. This is great.
There you go.
I'm going to eat head hump. What more can the dog want? Awesome expression, Malcolm. Sorry, I interrupted. You threw me off there. Where were we going now?
Yes, I've got two more, please.
Yes.
First one is the most runs scored, which is Trey Turner. It's 33-1. Trey Turner's gone back to the top of that lineup. Kyle Schwarber's been hitting up there for ages, which worked oddly. It shouldn't have worked, but it did. But Trey Turner's now going back up there. Kyle Schwarber's going to hit clean up. So 33-1 for that high octane offense is a great price. And I promise you a 250-1 shot, which is the most strikeout market, and it's Bowden Francis from the Toronto Blue Jays. Another player that myself and Adam have been talking about all year. He was really good last year when he came up. We've had our eye on him 8, 9, 10 months, Bowden Francis. So 250-1. He's worth 50 pence if you've got it.
Let's go. Wow. I think I got 50 pence kicking around there.
Yeah.
Nice D-Gens only bet.
I like it.
Great stuff as always, Malcolm. Appreciate you calling in. Make sure you check him out on Mal_B_sport on X, but obviously subscribe MLB Gambling Podcast on YouTube and Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.
And I'm sure we'll talk to Malcolm soon because we got ponies in a couple.
Oh yeah, horse racing right around the corner. So we'll see some more of Mal pretty soon here. Appreciate it, Malcolm. Thanks for calling in.
Malcolm.
Let it ride,
anytime, boys. Let it ride.
Let it ride. Speaking of let it ride with your Edge Boost card. Head over to edgeboost.bet. Use the promo code SGPN. And start earning cashback rewards just for betting. Wait, you're going to pay me for betting? This is a dream come true. And, Malcolm just gave out, what was it? 250-1.
Incredible.
A Bowden Francis. Like you get a couple Edge Boost bucks and then you have a Visa debit card that you can use for your sports books, the DFS, the sweepstakes, the casinos, the racetracks. You get up to $750 cashback each month. FDIC insured. It's free. No credit check. So again, even if you're not going to use it, do us a solid. Edge Boost has been great to us, and we appreciate it. EdgeBoost.bet, promo code SGPN. Also got some cash up for grabs in the bracket challenge. Follow them, EdgeBoost.bet, promo code SGPN. And of course, Underdog Fantasy. Sign up over on Underdog Fantasy. Get in on the daily pick'em. Of course, we do have MLB props, which is completely different than fantasy projections, but you can still probably find some value from the prop show and convert it over to some fantasy projections, higher, lower over on Underdog Fantasy. You can win up to 1,000x. The streaks is super fun, especially for baseball. Get in and use that promo code SGPN. Underdog Fantasy.com, promo code SGPN. All right, Kramer, we do let's get a couple of these draft props.
We need a taste. We need a taste. Maybe earlier in the week, can I pull back?
Maybe we save the Giants and just do Saints Browns.
Whatever, we can figure it out. But earlier in the week when Sean looked at me when he wasn't writing an email,
yes,
and he was fully locked in, said, baseball starts this week.
I did.
What the fuck?
I totally forgot.
Incredible.
I thought
how's it not today?
I thought we committed last year, Sean, to do the baseball preview sometime in June.
That would be that's probably when a lot of the audience. Also, too, baseball's to Malcolm's point. They're almost as bad as the UFL, which we'll which we will shit on later tonight. But why would you have opening day be the same day as the Sweet 16 March Madness? Like, come on, baseball started
Monday.
Why was it not Monday? Monday morning. People are at work. Oh, you get the 4 days. Screen.
Wait 4 days.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like there are days in the summer where there isn't day baseball. There should always be in the summer a day baseball game going on.
I would argue
you have no competition. It makes no sense.
I actually think it should go further than that. If I was baseball, every weekday in the summer, I'm treating like an NFL Sunday.
Yeah,
I have an
3
early
windows.
slate, a late or an afternoon slate, and a night slate. Well, how they haven't figured this, because it's all optimized around local market.
Yeah.
All the money's made locally, not nationally. That's why you see ESPN dropping the fucking contract to broadcast baseball. Think about that.
Yeah,
the only
crazy.
thing you can make money on is live sports, and ESPN said no thanks.
It's insane. It's insane. CJ, before we start with the draft props, we have to give Kramer his gift.
Yes.
What do you mean?
It was a few weeks ago, and CJ, we have been
a gift for you.
Oh wow,
we teamed up on the gift.
This feels like it's going to be a mean gift.
No,
not
it's
at
not.
all.
CJ,
not.
CJ commented that your locker, and I think he's more in tune to it because he films his shows in front of.
I rent my box out. I rent my box from that side of the studio.
From the studio. It's very Italian. You've leaned in to go in full. You decided to go full Italian, and we decided to get you a gift.
Oh, yes.
That would be an Italian gift.
We even heard you talking on the Great Steph Small show earlier as you were a guest on. You said part of the being Italian is letting other people know you're Italian.
That
way
the
you can get Italian gifts. Because I gave you the flag patch. I bet that came up.
I will say most of my life not been an overt Italian.
Right.
Been quite the opposite.
All right, I'm gonna go grab the gift.
But I will say,
you grab the gift.
The important, from what I remember of New Jersey, like I said, reflecting recently
if you can remember all the way back to New Jersey.
Well, reflecting that I've actually lived in California longer than I lived in New Jersey.
Is that true?
But it's now true.
Oh boy, that hurts, doesn't it? When you think about it, it's good to let go, but also it's it's.
You
great.
ever seen that video of the guy?
You've established a wonderful family out here, a great different life. But if if Jersey Ryan could see this California Ryan,
I never really fit in.
Asking if he should be a Yankee or a Dodger fan on the air, only 20 minutes ago.
If I still had passion,
he'd
for
give
the
you
Yankees.
such a smack.
Yeah, probably.
Kramer, chat? Feel free to guess. Kramer, before you open, it's opened. Just don't pull it out yet. Now take one guess as to what you think it could be.
I mean, I can only imagine it's some sort of hilariously over the top Italian. Like
this is exciting because this was in the office for over a month.
Yeah,
and it was sitting up on the wall. I'm like, "What is it?" Sean's and Ryan's like, "I don't know. What is Sean's crazy purchases?"
No, well, I knew it had to be something Sean related. Otherwise, it would have been shipped out of the spot. He was occupying a spot that Sean would not be too tolerant of.
Well,
if he was not in on the gag.
Well, I had to put it somewhere, and CJ was the one. CJ was the one who thought of the idea.
Right.
So we're working to unwrap it without CJ.
In this show that we're doing now has been delayed for weeks. Right? It was going to have been
college basketball.
Right. March Madness and Colby took over the airwaves. So all right, we'll wait till after March Madness. It's perfect anyway.
This is great.
Here we go. What a big box. This is amazing. Came here from Amazon. We were right on it. We went through different ones.
All right.
What do we got here?
Oh, Maharon, show off.
Yeah.
Now we can get some
hot winners right out of the oven.
Get some pizza out of the oven.
Brick oven. And you put that, you stow the locker, you get something in there.
It's got a hole too, so we can put a little rope in it.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Look at this thing.
Oh my God.
That was, and if we
have floods, we'll be able to paddle away.
We got Kramer a giant, what do you call this? A pizza, spoon? Like
what's a pizza spatula called?
Yeah, it's like a pizza. I googled pizza tray and it would come up pizza, tray, and then like I even sent you a GIF. Remember?
Yeah.
We our dark channels with a reminder. We got to give Ryan that joke, the gift. I mean, and I sent back this thing. So I put pizza oven tray.
I think it's called a peel. A peel
that's right.
is what it's called. And it was hard to find.
Yeah, and you can
oh wow!
Just almost broke the TV.
And you put it
look
oven,
at this.
You put it
oh, this is good, Kramer.
Yeah,
just pull it out when the winners are ready.
Oh, hot winner coming through. Hot winner, and you drop it on the plate.
You really got to check this out. YouTube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast.
So a pizza peel, yeah.
Pizza peel.
It's a
pizza peel. So
we need a peel. All right, we need a segment, a picks peel segment.
Yeah, the pizza peel picks.
I mean, I don't know what your schedule is.
We got to get Little Caesars back.
But when Calamari and Arkansas gets to the Final Four next week, I think we already got a it's a Calamari coming at you.
Someone that listens to us has to know someone that works in the corporate offices of whoever owns Little Caesar, right?
Little Caesars, hit us up.
How do we not have a pizza sponsor? We got a fucking pizza peel right here.
Ready to give out some hot winners.
All right, let's now also I appreciate the level of racism that the gift has.
No, of course.
But it's safe. It's Italian.
It's its own subgenre on Amazon. Racist gag gifts.
Italian goofy gifts.
All right, what teams do you want to talk about, Sean? Now that we're done being racist,
I think the Saints are interesting, and especially now with the Giants. Their odds, Ryan, you would say, have gone down of drafting a quarterback as their first player, right?
Quarterback was like minus 1,000, minus 700, something like that. Now it's minus one.
It's plus 150. Giants to draft a quarterback.
Yeah, I was going to say minus 140. Cornerback is now the favorite. Quarterback plus 150. I think there are still scenarios. I mean, according to the sources on Reddit, there are trade back scenarios on the table. There are also trade up into the back half of the first round scenario. So could the first pick not happen at 3? Maybe. Would I be pretty surprised at this point? Like if they're sitting at Travis Hunter, how do you not take him?
Yeah. I think they will.
And they need like a face of the frame. I mean, I know Russell Wilson and all that stuff, but they need like a face for the next like 5-10 years,
Can't be Malik Neighbors.
Travis Hunter is.
They got to get rid of that Travis Hunter girlfriend though. She's trouble.
She is trouble.
The floor for Travis Hunter is so incredibly high. Like out of anyone in college football that's getting drafted, he's the most sure thing of like, this guy's going to be a good football player. I can't imagine a world where he's a total bust.
Speaking of those Italians though, by the way, and characters, if you will, that draw, I know you guys retweeted the Schefter AI imagery or whatever, that quarterback room of DeVito, Russell, and Winston together. It was an amazing picture of a quarterback room. I'm hoping that the Giants aren't done. Just keep going. Bring in Rodgers.
Keep adding in.
Draft Shador at least. Have 5 of them in there. Make it look like one of those pictures like you see like in street fairs of like Tony Soprano having dinner with the Goodfellas with Scarface and Jack Sparrow. Like those things that make no sense. Just like all of pop culture.
Some you would see on the boardwalk.
Yeah, on the board, exactly. Right, the boardwalk. But there's all those quarterbacks: Aaron Rodgers, Winston, Tommy DeVito. You know what I mean? It's just
like the Last Supper, and it's just 12 random ass Giants
but it's just crazy giant quarterbacks. Why not just keep going quarterbacks? If you're gonna get them that cheap, you're only giving Winston $4 million for crying out loud.
I know.
Why not load up?
So electric.
So you can get a rookie contract with Shador.
Well, Shador is only my take on Shador is a much more inclusive of him being on the team if he's the second pick after Hunter. Yeah,
Shador will make more money than Winston for sure. I'm just from his NIL money, not talking about his salary. I'm just coming in.
He's got the YouTube money.
Yeah, he's doing all right.
He's got crazy money.
Yeah. So are you firing on the Giants first player drafted, the position market? Interesting. Like you said, cornerback's the favorite, and Travis Hunter is on DraftKings graded as a cornerback.
Yes.
Are you taking quarterback at minus 140 right now, or is there any of these long shot O-line 25 to 1? Maybe I could see that, but that
weeks ago
would you have to trade down?
Have to trade down for that.
Weeks ago we had this conversation, and it ended up with us landing on the idea that the Giants back then it was the Giants were going to trade up and get Cam Ward, or they were going to take Travis Hunter, and at the time Travis Hunter, if you remember, Sean, was plus 450 to go number 3 in this case to the Giants at number 3. Now, would I play right now if I was ignoring the fact that I have that bet? Cornerback would be the play. I also put on the Dable, like the very mainstream narrative of the coach kind of needs to win and the GM kind of needs to have success.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that in some way signing both of these guys makes it a little easier to say, well, who makes our roster really good this year? It's Travis Hunter.
Well, yeah. As far as win now, Travis Hunter is probably your 100%. Best.
But you could also argue that,
and you could take the words "kind of" out of those sentences.
You know what? All
right, they're the hottest seat probably in NFL, right?
Yeah,
Coach and GM.
We need to address this.
What
the idea? There is a whole. You've kind of said something along these lines, and there's a lot of people in the Giants Twitterverse that are saying it. The cost of missing on Shedeur Sanders is too great to take Travis Hunter over him. One, Travis Hunter also fits the mold of a guy who could be a generational type talent who can anchor a defense or maybe an offense. Two, if Shedeur Sanders is not a top of the first round pick, you can't just take him there and hope that you're wrong. Hope that most of the league is wrong and he turns into a franchise quarterback, especially if you think they're available later. And I think it's very clear that the NFL doesn't think Shedeur is a top guy.
Yeah. My whole case is the upside of him being a quarterback. You want to talk about turning around your franchise, you draft a franchise quarterback. It's that simple. That could, if you're right on Shedeur, which it's a smaller percentage, the upside is you could legit turn your franchise around. I think Travis Hunter is going to be a really good player. I don't think he's going to turn around the franchise. It's the same way that Malik Neighbors is a very good player. I don't think he's going to turn around the franchise single-handedly. If Shedeur is the guy, yeah, and I'm with you. I don't know if he is the guy. It's small
that
percentage.
Weird thing of if you don't think he's the guy, you taking him isn't going to make him the guy and make it a better decision. The chance. I mean, people are tiptoeing around it because they don't want to get attacked, but Shedeur is not Shedeur and Cam Ward are very different prospects.
Yeah.
And I think you have certain people trying to prop Shedeur up for some reason.
I think the case for Shedeur is we saw a lot of growth from year 1 of Colorado to year 2. So if you're projecting he's going to grow that much in year 1 and year 2 in the NFL, you could have an awesome quarterback
in a normal year. In a normal year, quarterback prospects are generally crushed for the same things. Don't have the elite arm talent, hold the ball too much in college, try to make a play. Those things neither one of those things work well in the NFL. If you don't have the arm strength, the throws don't work to the outside. The throws don't work deep down the field. And if you hold the ball too long, because you're akin to making plays at the college level, you're not going to have success at the pro level because you just can't do that. We've seen that.
Yeah, I mean, consistent. If I was the Giants,
so his weaknesses are literally the two areas where players fail the fastest. And you're telling me that he might not be the best post snap processor. That's a tough combination to be yeah, but he might be the franchise changing.
I think the biggest critique of Shedeur that makes sense to me, or the easiest to project, is if you take a bunch of sacks in college, you usually end up taking a bunch of sacks.
Hold on. In sacks are a quarterback.
If I was the Giants, and I've been on record, I would have drafted Michael Penix or Bo Nix last year. That's what I would have done. And now I think you would have been ahead of the game. Now, if you don't draft a quarterback in the first round, maybe you get lucky in the second or third round. But I think you're just kicking the can down the line, and maybe you do find your quarterback. But to your point, drafting Shedeur could set you back even farther if he doesn't end up being the guy, which is a decent chance. CJ, what do you, as far as the bet, I don't know.
Missing on the guy is worse than not drafting the guy in terms of impact to your franchise.
I disagree with that.
Hitting the guy has a greater impact, but missing will crater. Look at some of the, missing will generally
missing. I don't think is not going to kill you because you were bad to begin with. If you're drafting this high, you're bad to begin with.
You put a lot. You basically are. In this case, it's strange because missing actually could but like generally, you're also tied to a new coach, a new GM.
But let's say they draft Shedeur and he's not the guy. 2 years later, they're drafting high again, and they have another shot to get the guy, right?
It has changed because people give up on quarterbacks quicker than they used to. But I see what Ryan's saying is, and I don't agree with this argument that they use specifically, like, oh, Buffalo took Josh Allen where they could have had Mahomes or something like that, of that kind of situation. Like I know whatchamacallit was trying to say that as a narrative. But like picking a different guy, or let's say Trubisky instead of
Mahomes.
Yeah, instead of Mahomes. You still have to give up, but you get something out of it, but it depends on what damage it does to your team as well. So I don't know. I certainly don't think you can draft Shedeur number 3 at all. I wouldn't even want to take him, period. But
my take has been very consistent on that. I think if you're doing that, it shows a level of desperation that I think, again, they've insulated themselves from by signing both Russ and Jameis.
Is there a better price?
You know what they can do now? They can leave the draft without a quarterback and be like, yeah, we got 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, and you're going to get Arch Manning. You have to get Arch Manning.
And we got a Manning.
Is there, like I said, is there a better price then to take Travis Hunter number 3? Like that he goes number 3 or whatever? Blah,
the best way you can draft it is actually for Travis Hunter to be the 3rd pick at like -125.
All right, well, I'd play that then.
Yeah,
save the 20 cents because I think you can lock that up. I think the 1, 2, 3 is pretty locked in.
The interesting thing is, if it's not Travis Hunter, I don't think the Giants are drafting a cornerback.
Right.
So I would take. I do think quarterbacks to play at -140.
It's defensive lineman or cornerback. If you're asking,
I was just going to say. So
you don't think
so? If they trade down, they're getting a defensive lineman.
No, but I think they could trade down and get an offensive lineman. I think. If you look at this O-line class, if they trade down and them getting an offensive lineman at 25-1, I don't think is crazy at all.
I think offensive line in the 2nd, 3rd round, very high probability.
You don't think there's a chance they use their first pick on a lineman?
I think if they're at 3 and Carter and Hunter,
but let's say they trade down.
I think if they trade down, it's probably positioning more around acquiring more picks later on and taking a quarterback later in the 1st round.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think you're right to see that this is a decent price because offensive line will be drafted in the first 3 rounds. I just don't know if it's going to be their first pick. But
what if the Browns take Hunter number 2? Then they just default to Abdul Carter 100%.
I think so. I think to me, Hunter and Carter are slightly different prospects than everyone else.
All right. I'll take a D line here at +250. Because I think there's a couple different ways you get there. Kramer, are you adding anything to your portfolio in Giants place?
I'll jump in. I'll add in that. It makes me interested to maybe take some insurance on quarterback, but no, cornerback. Travis Hunter's the pick, and I would continue to try. I would now start to shop trifectas as well. Which
do you think it's definitely going to be Cam Ward, Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, 1, 2, 3? Goes completely chalk.
I think if the Cowboys are trading up to 2, it's to take Chuck Sanders.
But we don't know that yet.
No, but I think that's the one team that, how we say it takes one.
Yeah.
I now kind of think Myles Garrett was giddy when he saw who his quarterback was going to be. We said, how does this make sense? He wouldn't be that stoked about Shedeur Sanders. He's never played in the league before. He doesn't want a rookie quarterback. But if he knew they were going to go after Dak,
it's also funny to get that excited over Dak.
I mean, Dak is at least a dude who's put up numbers and probably has some level of respect from dudes in the league.
He's back. He's running up the MVP 2 years ago.
Exactly. So I could see.
Yeah, no, I can see.
I know what you're saying.
We have a slightly different perspective than
we know
Dak's.
We know Dak's a loser, and I get it. If you've been on the Browns, the idea of getting Dak is like, my God, our savior is here.
He can get you to the playoffs. I mean,
So
good luck once you get there, though.
I just go back to that interview where he has this look of like, I saw the future and I love it.
Okay.
And I don't think you see the future of Shedeur Sanders, any rookie, and love it.
Well, and shout out to our buddies over at the Big Play Network. Their reporter was the one who broke the news
about the trade,
about the potential trade that they're discussing.
Yeah. We got it. Maybe we need to get Dave on next week for some insight.
I'm blanking on the guy's name. Seemed like a fun character, but he was the one who had that news.
Oh, Big Play is one of our oldest friends
shout out to
in
Big
the
Play.
internet game.
killing it in the Cleveland area, and they're expanding. They do a bunch of great stuff over there.
They did some Jameis content.
Yeah, they had a reality show with Jameis. Brilliant idea there. One market I wanted to hit on before we get out of here: Saints position to draft. I'm going quarterback here at 10-1. You're probably not getting the best of the number. It was higher, but the more things are shaking out, the Saints drafting a quarterback makes so much sense. Kellen Moore, they're desperate to get away from Derek Carr. There's a lot of ways this gets home. I think 1, trading up. 2, if a guy like Shedeur falls, or 3, if they like, a Jackson Dart or whatever, if he's around there, maybe even at 9, they've
kind of been doing the mid-round quarterback.
Yeah.
They took Spencer Rattler, Jake Haener before that. So you do have to expect that if they're going to go after something, maybe they pay up a little bit. They've also been completely content, mismanaging things to win now.
Yeah. But like if I'm Kellen Moore, you gotta get some optimism. You gotta turn the page. I feel like they gotta get a quarterback.
But that's what I mean. Like Loomis has been given liberty to continually make bad decisions long term for short-term success. This, easy sell, right? Let's reboot here. But what do you do with Carr then?
You slowly.
Can you cut him?
I don't think he's cuttable, but he's probably a guy that could
send him home with the Raiders because he was being a baby.
I think he'll probably start the first 6 games and then they'll put the rookie. It would be my guess.
Where did this come from? Them even being in the quarterback market?
Oh, well, there was rumors that they're infatuated with Cam Ward. They're going to do whatever it takes to trade up. Now, I think the Titans are also locked in on Cam Ward, so it's going to take it, or at least they're positioning themselves that way, maybe to get more draft haul. I don't know. Like the Saints don't have anything to give up except a ton of picks.
The amount of dead money that they would take on with, I mean, they look at, all right. So Derek Carr's contract technically ends in 2026, but they added 3 void years. If they cut him pre-June 1st this year, it's 80 mil in dead cap.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to cut him. I think they're just going to use him as the starter for the first 6-7 games.
You know what his cap number is next year? 70 million.
Yeah, that's why you need a rookie quarterback to balance it out. Honestly, I think you're making a case for why they need a rookie quarterback, because if a rookie quarterback's your starter, at least you're only
you can't cut him next year either.
No, I know, but I'm saying at least you're only spending 70 million on the quarterback position. Yeah. CJ, any thoughts on the Saints first pick?
Yeah, I mean, it's chalk, but I went cornerback at plus 300. You still get them at 3-1. I mean, they lost Lattimore, they lost Debo to the Giants, who are last year's starting cornerbacks. Obviously, they're going to start Alontae Taylor and probably Kool-Aid. But if they went after Charvarius Ward hard, they went after him hard, and they couldn't get him. I think that tells you everything you need to say. So, I mean, they brought in they re-signed Isaac Tatum, who was from San Francisco, but the fact that they were willing to go after Ward like that makes me think they need cornerback help. And I don't know how much power Kellen Moore is going to have to be able to get a quarterback for his future right away like this. Like you said, when they're so locked in their car, as much as we hate Carr, everyone hates Carr, but there's nothing you can do about it. Carr's there.
Well,
he is kind of,
he's there.
Everyone's stuck with their car. Kramer,
they have the 9th pick.
Yeah.
Yes. I do think
I can see them making a move for Ward.
They have made moves before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you think about defensive linemen they traded first round pick away.
Howie's fleeced them a couple times.
So I don't mind the angle. I don't have I was gonna they seem to be a team that needs defensive help.
Is it crazy that they just stay at 9 and take Shedeur? I don't think that's crazy. If Shedeur and Jackson Dart are available, then taking one of those quarterbacks at 9, I don't think is crazy at all.
Let's not forget. And a lot of people are just assuming that Arch Manning would want to play for the Giants, which would be weird, right? Why would you want to play in your uncle's shadow? His grandfather though played in New Orleans. The family is from New Orleans. It makes more sense to me that the Saints the Saints need to have a bad year. And whether they take I kind of like taking a piece of your quarterback play, but to me, it's got to be one of the line positions. I've seen a lot of people mocking them defensive linemen.
Shedeur number 9 would be would be a great counter to what Atlanta did with Penix and having Cousins, and that's been that's their cousins. That's who they rival with. That'd be kind of a hilarious way to do it. Like they have Carr too, but we want Shador then in the bullpen.
I've also seen that decent amount of chatter around how much the new coach why am I blanking on his name? Kellen Moore loves a good tight end.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Tight end is 5-1.
Tyler Warren.
We know there's 2 tight ends we think could be drafted.
Yeah.
Loveland
in
and
that range.
Tyler Warren.
That would be my dark horse. If I want to.
Is there a price where Loveland gets drafted ahead of Tyler Warren?
Oh,
not yet.
Not yet, but I'm sure there's going to be.
That's what I'm hearing.
That would be. I think.
Are we taking Dart over Shador as well?
I wouldn't mind that.
Maybe.
Should talk about someone who's improved every year. Dart.
If someone
very much like Jalen Hurts, kind of like improvement. Doesn't really blow you off the.
Played for Lane Kiffin though. Very tricky to trust that. But what had the pedigree? I would love to get a Shador second. Shador not a first rounder. If someone finds that.
So I think they have us. They don't have Shador not second. They do have the second quarterback selected market though. Shador is minus 1400. Jackson Dart plus 650. I don't know if that's
no.
Yeah.
Does that blow your skirt up?
That doesn't blow my skirt up. I'm not a dog with 2 dicks.
Yeah, I mean,
Quinn Ewers at 80. Jalen Milroe and Quinn Ewers at 80-1 is almost more interesting.
I can stand over a great with that. I can Marilyn Monroe skirt.
Yeah, it's hard not to. And we're gonna have to get Jake to do a Marilyn Monroe, Malcolm Monroe. Because the skirt up phrase. Kramer, what are you officially tossing on so I can update the sheet here?
Give me the tight end.
Tight end.
I like that tight end.
5-1.
Tight end's fun.
Yeah. And all these are plus money for the Saints. So again, kind of fun to add to the draft portfolio. We're going to be doing a bunch of draft props between now and the draft. Obviously, super fun market. We got the UFL show coming up tonight. We got some more college after Thursday night's round of games. We got the VSiN show Friday night, 8:00 West Coast time. So much great stuff. Of course, make sure you check out CJ Sullivan, Man in the Box. Get some of these DJing hats. This stuff is fire, and we'll be talking to you later tonight. YouTube.com/Sports Gambling Podcast or wherever you get your pods.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
So stoked for baseball, Sean.
Kramer, let it ride.